We were having dinner, and I asked if her uncle had gotten back to her about officiating at our wedding. She just looked at me with this weird look on her face, and then she asked, what did I think about open marriage? I was surprised. Call me old-fashioned on this mindset, but I believe when you're going to marry a person, you're committed to that person for life, and that there is nobody else in that marriage but you and that person. Welcome to my luxury coach ride straight to hell. I'm Magic, and this is Magic's Monologue. In today's episode, I broke up with my fiancée after she asked for an open marriage. How do I get her and our families to leave me alone? But first, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and smack that bell like you would joyfully smack a good booty to help push this content out so more men can see and learn from it. So grab a cold one in the back of the minibar in the back of the limo, and let's get this party bus rolling down to the boat on the River Styx. I want to thank Thomas for sending me this. Please keep it coming, guys. I, male 27, have been with my fiancée, female 25, for 5 years. Good. Given the chance, you want to date at least 4 to 5 years to really get to know her. We had many things in common, and I really loved her. That's beginning to sound like you're putting her on a pedestal, but loving her is a good thing. I proposed to her 10 months ago, and she accepted. Our families were excited for us. They've been a real help in planning and the financial input to the wedding. I'm not much of a planner, but I even got caught up with the preparations. But then the conversation, as the title states, took place, and that made me break up with my fiancé, and it's caused an uproar in both our families and mutual friends. We were having dinner, and I asked her if her uncle had gotten back to her about officiating at our wedding. She just looked at me, and with this weird look on her face, and then asked, what do I think about open marriage? I was surprised. Call me old-fashioned on this mindset, but I believe when you're going to marry a person, you are committing to that person for life, and that there is nobody else in that marriage but you and that person. Okay, see what happened here, guys? He was dating her for 5 years, like I often say, and the moment he proposes, she's like, I've got him now. I've got him wrapped around my little finger. And what does she do? She brings up open marriage. How much do you want to bet? She waited until the wedding deposits were all made, too. Can you imagine what would have happened if he did not wait 5 years? He could have been married to her. Then she dropped this bomb after a couple years of marriage and a kid. I told her exactly this, and she said, we're still young, and she loved me and wanted to marry me and eventually have children, but she hadn't had much experience before our relationship. I asked her what was wrong with that, but she spoke right over me and said she just wondered if I would consider an open marriage. I said no. I just told you how I felt about it, and I got up to leave, and she said, you haven't even given it a chance. You might change your mind. I just looked at her, and everything I felt for her just died in that very moment. Dude, I'm so sorry this happened to you, and that feeling of dying in that moment, a lot of men experience it. Personally, I think it's a primal thing. A switch just flips in our brain and we're done. I told her if that's what she wants, then she's more than welcome to go do that with someone else because me and her were over. She tried to backtrack and say it was just a suggestion and she didn't actually mean it, but I didn't want to hear it. Good for you, because she did mean it, and there is a bigger problem here. Men and women have different behavior patterns. Now pay attention to this, guys, and the 10% of gals who watch my channel. This is important. When a woman brings up open marriage, she, at a minimum, has someone else in mind already, has begun an emotional affair. The worst case scenario is she has already cheated on you. Either way, the relationship is done. I went into our spare room and locked the door. She tried opening the door and crying and saying she was sorry and she didn't mean it. Yeah, how does the Australian say? Bullshit. I don't know what you did over the last 5 years, but you definitely gave her the impression you were weak enough that you would go for this if she brought it up. Either that, or she has girlfriends, co-workers, or even family members who are doing this or have done this. This is why it's so important for you to take a hard look at who her friends and family are and their value systems. She just cried. She eventually stopped knocking. I eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I went to work and told a friend what happened and asked if I could stay with him. He agreed. So that same day, I moved out. She was at work when I moved out, and she eventually came home and found my stuff gone. She blew up my phone. Oh, I bet she did. I answered the call, and she was crying and saying, "What was I doing?" I told her, "Last night I was serious when I said we're done." Her responses went from pleading to anger when I didn't react. Excellent. You do not react. You do not get sucked into the emotional debate or frame. That is what she wants in order to manipulate you into questioning your decision. I just hung up on her and blocked her number. It's been a week and she hasn't given up trying to contact me and change my mind, and even got our families involved. They said she hadn't cheated on me and that it was normal for couples to explore different options in their relationship, and I took it the wrong way. I told them to leave me alone, but they keep coming at me. I don't know what to do. Gentlemen, in the comments section, give this brother your thoughts and support of what you think he should do. Now, here are my complete thoughts. 1, it's over. Don't go back, and you did the right thing. 2, you screwed up by letting her control the narrative. The moment you broke up, the next day, you should have sent out a group email to all the friends and family, clearly stating why you ended it and that your relationship was predicated upon the monogamy she agreed to for the last 5 years, and she violated that. I would also have done a social media post as well to get your side out. At this point, it may be too late, but I would do it anyways. State this is not up for debate or reconciliation. 3, find a male therapist and ask him to help you evaluate your relationship to isolate where you may have gone wrong. Are you attracted to the wrong kind of woman? Are you a white knight? It takes 2 to tango, and you did something that gave her the impression she would get away with this. Lastly, as I said before, don't take her back. However, for you guys who don't listen, then at the very least, get a lawyer and have a prenup and a postnup made up with clear cheating clauses. If your state allows, in the prenup, she must sign the postnup or the marriage will be annulled. Make the penalty for infidelity painful for her, as in she gets little and you get full custody of the children. Remember, 9 out of 10 times, once a cheater, always a cheater. I want your personal stories to share, and if you see an article online you think I should cover, send the whole story and the link just in case it's not there by the time I get to it, and email it to stories@magicsmonologue.com. This way others can learn from your victories, joys, defeats, as we work to not only support each other, but help each other become better men. As of late, this platform has become a bit hostile to men's channels as they seek to silence your voice. Therefore, I want to personally thank you for the thumbs up you've given me, your smart choice to subscribe for future videos, and sharing this everywhere, and your feedback in the comments section as well. This is the best way to spit in the eye of the algorithm defiantly. If you have a moment, stop by my community tab and vote on my survey as to whether or not I should keep the bow ties or ditch them. In doing so, you are clearly helping to educate other men and definitely piss off a Karen near you. Until next time. Thank you for watching. Before you go, check out these other videos.